Mhuri yeZimbabwe kusangana kwatiri kuita zvakare ipo pano paZim Local Daily Scoop apo patinoda kupai mafirst hand update anonga ari kuitika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe. So kana uri mutsva usabve pano usina kusubscribe, kulaika nekusheya. So tiri kuona ma-ex combatants nemagenerals vari kutaura kuti no, jaji mutsva uyu akabva kuiswa naPresident Emmerson Mnangagwa akuita Chigumba strategy, apo patakaona nyaya yema-war veteran haina kukwanisa kusheyiwa nezuro. Ma-war veteran waya vari kupikisa constitutional amendment bill number 3. So tiri kuona zviri kuitika muno munyika yeZimbabwe. Vari kutaura iwo kutoti no, ana Wikino Chivhayo, ana Kudata Gwere, ana Delishi Ngwaya, ana Scott Sakupkanya, kusanganisira nana Kudata Gwerei vacapture judiciary. Tiri kuona kuti majaji ari kunzi vakaenda kuchikoro vakaita 4 years 5 years uri kuuniversity muri yeZimbabwe, then wozoya kunokontrolwa nemagrade 7 nemaform 2. chinova chiri cho chiratidzo chinoratidza kuti zvinhu hazvina kumira zvakanaka, because tiri kuona kuti Wikino Chivhayo akasungisisa ex wife yake naex mother in law wake vari mukati meusungwa pari zvino, nenhau yekutoti pari ngotaurwa hapo kutonzi vana wati chichinhauwa yevana chichi chimwe, but tiri kuona kuti nhauwa iripo ihombe hombe inhauwa yekulikisa mapictures navaCyril Ramaphosa, because tiri kuona kuti zvinhu zvanga zvisina kumira zvakanaka kunyika yeSouth Africa uko kuri kutaurwa kunzi vaCyril Ramaphosa vaita handizive munhu anonzi Wikino Chivhayo, then po vapalika mapictures iwavo. So Wikino Chivhayo ari kufungidzira kuti ex wife yake Sonja Madzikanda ndiye akalikisa information iyoyo achifuriwa naex mother in law wake ambuya vake, so akasungisisa ambuya navari mukati pari zvino. So tiri kuona kuti inhauwa dzemari dziri kushanda, even kana Temba muri
methods of non-violent resistance will be actually positioning them on what they are supposed to do. I really don't know kuti kwanyika kurise uri kwanyika ndiko here kumasvingo kweko kunonzi kwanyika
nyika growth point
ndiko
ndo imwe problem yandinoita iyo yekuti 46 years later tichingori nemagrowth points nanhasi. You know kuti vana nyika vaya vangadai vatove matowns kana macities akatokura chaizvo.
Exactly. So now
kuri kunzika
vekwanyika tikavati pendai madhongi muchiti no to CAB3, I cannot ask people who are in mabhuku to do the same, because they don't have madonki. They have something that is similar. They can paint public toilets. So to say there is short of what to do because of your geographical location or your class in the society, that is under changing the struggle, because everyone has got something very important to do in the struggle. Vanhu vari kumamisha vane zvokuita resist to. You know that a lot of land is being siphoned nemasabhuku takatarisa, and we are not acting, and we cannot even link it to CAB3 or to misgovernance by ZANU-PF. That's what we'll fight our struggle from that corner. If we are in prisons, we fight our struggle from that corner of being in a prison. We talk of the warfare of a prisoner. That if this government was in good shape, if we're having good governance, we could be having better living conditions in these cells. So there's no excuse from any one Zimbabwean who is in the struggle. Wherever you are, you have to fight. You cannot tell me that because I'm in diaspora, I'm waiting to go to Zimbabwe so that I will go on the ground to protest. No, that's so lazy. You are lying to us. You don't want to fight. You are not a fighter. Real fighters, you fight from where you are. During the war, much of the war was fought by people who were in diaspora. They were operating from Mozambique, it's diaspora. They were operating from Zambia. They were operating from different entities. So, guys, let's not have excuses here. We don't want
Is
to
it
have
going to be the same oil? Is it going to be the same oil if you compare the liberation struggle times and now? Because those guys had guns. They chose to do what was considered as illegal. They were considered as rebels. They were considered as terrorists. They had all kinds of names labeled against them. So they were a select group of people. So they fought from that front. But when Ruzeva, when towns, vakaramba vari under siege by the Smith regime. And this is the question I'm asking, Guti. The same will happen with ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF has besieged my rural areas since 1980. They have formed cells. They have formed all kinds of control structures. Zekuti, if you go there today, you will see kuti vanhu, they are chaperoned kunovhota, they are chaperoned kuenda kunohora chikafu, they are chaperoned to do all these things. This is where the problem is. And we
Nyika.
need to come up with my
Nyika.
idea zekuti voitwa sei izvozvo. Yes.
Nyika. Unozwa
Mm.
Nondichi, you are answering yourself. Yes, everything that is happening today is the same. Smith did not allow people to even gather. One of the things that he did when he realized that the populace is working with the comrades, he put everyone under a keep, under enclosed communities. That's what ZANU-PF is doing. Hapana chiri kuitwa neZANU-PF that they've invented. Everything that they're doing, they've learnt it from Smith. Hapana something new. Painzi vanhu ngavasabude mumakipi magandanga murikuda kubikira magandanga. Did it stop there? But vana vadiki vaibvumidzwa kubuda vachinofudza mombe, and vakatanga kuita take use of those kids. Vakatanga kuitwa vane zita ravo, dobs anomboritaura, vanomhanya netumatsamba, vanyorwa tumatsamba, mhanya pakati.
Vana mujiba.
Vana vadiki vanenge vainzi tubhaskoro here, something like that. I wish Jobs was here. Vana
Oh,
vadiki,
you mean his
kids.
name?
Ana mujibha ndo ana mujibha vamwe aitopiwa pfutika zvimapfuti zvavo zvezvi. Kutaura vana vadiki, kids vaifudza mombe, vainzi endai munomira kumakona kwese, mukaona masoja akuya momhanya, kwaimhanya tuchitaura information. So, I mean, we don't have to be lazy. Izvozvi tine maintaneti, tine chii, tine this space ine ndo pungwe yedu patinoungana kurangana mazano. We should not discuss everything into details because the enemies are also here. But things are happening on the ground. The ground is getting better and better and fertilized. Like what Tini said, that they started during COVID time. And it's a work in progress. And things are still happening. That's why Madam Dara Jig and Alpa ground, they know where to throw their seeds. Avasikuenda kunotsvaka kuti zvinototangira papi. That ground ravari kuita play around in. There are people who prepared it. There are people who are preparing that ground. It's not like they invaded it. It's not that vakaumba vanhu vavo resistance. Otherwise, pasina vanhu vakashanda kubva muCovid. Dai vasina kwekusvikira. Vachisara kuti akumana ngatiite zvakati, ngatiite zvakati. People are working in nyika zvisingaite. Ende zviri kushanda, ende zviri kubatsira. Many thanks.
Thanks, Owen. Tapiwa, wakasimudza ruoko, ndiwandaona wakasimudza ruoko chete. Pinda tizwe.
Okay, machambasa nyika yevakune vanhu vayo. Yeah, I think Owen na uyu argument yacho, that's the argument we should be having. Kuti, if you look at how people or governments or sustain power is fear, I think their best weapon, it's not exactly kuti vane masoja, vane pfuti, I think it's the idea of them instilling fear in you and disempower you to an extent your auctioneering of my solutions or my plans or strategies are limited in a fear yako. But to say ukwakwindwi andina bazooka. But if you look at the history of war, if you start even with the guy who wrote The Art of War, akataura kuti the momentum or the weight of your enemy, you can use it to your advantage. Kutaura kuti, let's say chari akafuta indakaonda, then I know a pressure point on his body, the weakest point on his body. Iyachuya atapondroka garira kanunza boom. But what kills him is not my punch, is his weight. He has actually stabbed himself so hard because he came so heavy. And I just targeted and so that moment, you can use the weaknesses of your enemy to actually win a war. And that's the strategy, Shanti Square in modern warfare. Okay, I have two modern examples, live examples. If you look at Ukraine and Iran, Ukraine basically militarily, Russia is a superpower. But what they do, they make drones that are, they are not a drone. And they're chasing their soldiers, these soldiers. Okay, how do you strategize? You drone kanunzi baba usidzingirwa nenunzi apo wakabata zebhazuka unodini bhazuka iri kuuya nunzi yokudonesera do kanoko watomama zvatopera. So basically, let me tell you one thing. The only thing that's why we have all these long discussions is because you are trying to justify your fear, to say, I know, I can't. Start saying you can, and then you can find ways, loopholes, weak points, and go for it. You're not going to live forever talking, oh my God, oh, they're so powerful. Anyway, don't they bleed? Everybody bleeds, no matter how powerful you are. Romania. What happened? Come on, get rid of that fear. Otherwise, my child. Sorry, okay then. That's all I have to say. Thank you.